Okay. Well, this is completely unscripted. Like, actually, no script.
It's gonna be like, because I was like messing with my microphone.
Welcome back to Messy Moments Included. We're your host, Mackenzie and Abby. I'm just gonna introduce you.
Hey, you know what? We're rolling with it today.
Oh gosh, yes. Well, today we're gonna be talking about our travel adventures. The good, the bad, the ugly, mostly the funny.
Mostly the funny, yeah. We have some really funny moments, and really this one is mostly centered on our trip we took 2 years ago.
It's been 3 years. Well,
it's about coming on 3 years when we went to Japan together for a month. So there's a lot to unpack there.
There is a lot.
And we have our book, of course, right here so that we can reference and remember to stay on track for once.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, and for some of these we have photos, I think.
Oh, and we can insert them in the thing.
Yeah, so we'll put, if you're watching, we will put them on the screen as they come up.
Yeah. So the first one we have,
we're going to start off. Okay, so this is our Japan trip.
Yes.
So this happened over the course of a month that we stayed there. So we stayed there from June to the end of June.
Yeah, we the start of June to the end of June. We came back like beginning of July. Yeah, something like that.
It was before 4th of July we came back, but yeah, we spent a whole month in Japan back in 2023. So these events transpired throughout that month, and we're gonna go ahead and reminisce. And we did write them down just so that we kind of had like a little ground to like go off of, and we keep on track, make sure we hit everything. So
yeah,
gosh,
but before we get started into that, we'll go ahead and pray. So Abby, you want to pray?
No, you can pray.
Okay, just kidding, it's me. Dear Heavenly Father, God, thank you so much for your blessings. Thank you for sweet friendship, and God, just the ability to have such good quality time together, Lord. Lord, I pray for anyone who may be watching or listening, God, that you may be with them this week. Guard and protect them, keep them strong, safe, and healthy. Help them to get to where they're going and back home safely. And God, just, Lord, just to look out for them in their needs and whatever prayers they have at this time, Lord. I just pray that your provision is there. And I just thank you for this, and I pray that you lead this episode. In your name I humbly ask, pray, and claim, Father. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so the first one is, I think we were in Tokyo at this moment. I can't remember. It was either Osaka or Tokyo. But we had been running to get this train. And we got on this train, and me and Abby, like, a lot of times, like, on the railways in Japan, like, if you can get a seat, you get a seat. If not, you're standing. But this one happened to be mostly empty. So me and Abby were like sitting opposite of each other. And there was a family to the right sitting near Abby. And I like had looked down. I can't even. I had like looked down and I was doing something on my phone. And I looked up and Abby was like sitting maybe like, what would you say, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet away from these people?
Yeah.
And then I remember like just like glancing up, and I just saw this little small family. I look back down and I look up again, and Abby's like 6 feet away from them now. And I look over, and lo and behold, I don't speak like this, but this child troll, okay, was sitting there behind her father, who's talking very loudly on the train, which is super disrespectful in Japan.
Yeah.
And he's like talking on the phone to some random person. This child hasn't brushed her hair in probably like 2 months. Okay, it's like Goldilocks gone bad. And so she has this like bright blonde hair, and they're like kind of in pigtails, and she has this loose hanging little bow. And she is eating, like chowing down on this chocolate ice cream.
Which they have a lot of vending machines in Japan, just to preface. And apparently at some point she found an ice cream vending machine, and that's where she got it from.
So I look back over, and this child is like slightly behind her dad's shoulder, and I swear to you, I am not exaggerating. This child was eating like, and I looked at the child, and it's like the moment I looked at her, she just stopped and like shot her head towards me and looked at me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna look away now. And it was so scary. And then Abby was trying to keep her composure over there. It was like she knew.
Well, because like when you see something, you know that your friend's gonna see it, and you're gonna both start laughing. You don't want to make eye contact because then those people would have known that we were laughing
on that thing. This little tiny little peanut. I mean, she was like,
she was feral. She was a little feral child.
Reminded me of The Croods. Isn't that the name of the movie, The Croods?
I have no idea what that
is. Well, it's like caveman movie. It's a kids movie. Anyhow, but then and then Abby like looked up at me, and we were like silently communicating, and then it's like the moment Abby like kind of like, you know, like when you like insinuate like, oh, and the moment that happened, the child like swung her head in Abby's direction. And we were like, and we were just like trying to make it through that train. And then when we got off the train, remember the kid with the mask?
Gosh, yes. It was like, I don't know, it was the gremlins were out that night.
There was something in the train stations, because then we ran to get another train. We ended up getting on the wrong train, right?
Yeah. It wasn't the same night though. That I don't think that one was.
It was it not? Because we were like, oh, let's get off this. No, because uncomfortable.
Wait, which train are you talking? There was a lot of train incidents. We were on a train a lot. Like we missed a few trains. We got on a few wrong ones.
We got on one like immediately after. We ended up going to the wrong station.
Oh,
but remember, really? We get on there and there's a mom with 2 kids, and they're like European, and this boy has this like devil's mask on.
Yes.
I was like, how do you not remember this? I remember me and you going, oh no.
Yeah, we were like, we gotta get out of here. No, the one that I was thinking of was like one of our first nights in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that we were getting on, it was like the last train. Gosh. If we missed it, we would have like been stranded because like afterwards there wasn't a train until like the next morning.
1:30, I think it's like the latest their trains go till, or 12:30, something like that.
It was something, I don't know, but I just remember like us being stranded and like confused, and we don't understand like the wording because like even like the English words that were on the signs, I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I think we were just really overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
But then these 2 drunk men,
help
us. And at first we were very cautious because, I mean, obviously drunk men.
And it's such a different environment culturally, like there than it is here, because like here, you know, it's always stranger danger, and especially as women.
Yeah.
And there it's like, that's not a thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, crime still happens, right? But it's such a rarity that these men were really just like trying to help us, and we were like, oh, this is odd.
It was so odd. They got on the train with us. They were like, oh, you need to get on here. And then they got on with us. I don't even know if that was their train. If it was, like,
I don't know.
I have no idea. But then they started asking us where we were from. We told them we were from Texas. And they were like,
bang, bang. Woo, with the horse.
And he was over here sliding off of his seat. And his friend was just there with him, like,
just along for the ride, honestly.
Oh my goodness. But at least hopefully he got home safe. But yeah, there were so many train incidents. There was one time where we were in Osaka. I remember we were just leaving the crossing, Shibuya crossing. And we got on the train and it was packed. And that was when there was this man that was making out with the door.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just, like, sitting there watching him.
And it's we're hand-to-hand with everybody. Like, this train is as packed as it can get. There's no sitting. It's literally just, like, body to body.
I want to say that you were, like, kind of behind me a little bit. And, like, he was up here. There was somebody kind of, like, there was room.
Mm.
And then I made eye contact with this lady. And we both, like, kind of knowingly, like, looked and were like, oh, it's just interesting. And then I like elbowed you, and I was like, what's going on? And all of a sudden he's over here literally making out with the door. I have never seen anything like that.
That was intense. I don't think we were supposed to be there for that.
No, I think he was like, you know that lady that married the Eiffel Tower?
Yes.
I think that was his situation with that door. Like, they were getting it.
I
was
know.
getting something.
He was getting something from it. And I just remember, like, it was so funny because it's moments like that where, like, even, like, if you speak, everyone speaks different languages, you're all, like, communicating in some way when you're looking at each other and you're like, what's going on? And everybody's making these faces at each other like, y'all see what I'm seeing?
Are we all hallucinating, or is this reality? Like, is this actually going on?
Yeah. You have here something about getting ran over. There was a lot of incidents, so I don't really remember that one.
Oh my gosh. So we were in Hiroshima.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't almost get run over.
No, let's preface. We went down for a day trip to Hiroshima, and we were like, let's go to the beach. So we go to the beach. The beach shut down for whatever reason.
Like, they completely, like, closed off the beach. Like, they had a fence around it. I've never seen anything like that either. That was insane.
Yeah, it was very weird. So we were like, oh, okay. And after we had seen some sites, you know, like some of the history there and stuff, we were getting ready to leave the beach. And in Hiroshima, it's a lot more rural. So they only have, like, in this part we were at, a train only came once every hour or so. It was
once every hour. So to kind of give you a little bit better context, we went to Hiroshima. After Hiroshima, we decided, hey, we want to go to the beach. We had our swimsuits in our bags. And so Mac found this beach. I want to say it was like an hour away from Hiroshima or something. Yeah,
like it was just a little further down to the actual coast.
Yeah. And so we go. So we're already out like a little bit further than what we needed to be because we were staying in Kyoto. And so we get off, we do our thing, we're looking for the beach to go on to, and then we realize that it's closed, and then we realize that there's a train coming, and that's the last train for the next hour.
And it's literally like 5 minutes away at this moment, right? Like, it was roughly like you got 5 minutes, and in Japan, like, things are prompt. If you miss it, you miss it. By 1 minute, by 30 seconds, it's gone.
That is something I really appreciate about them.
I do appreciate the time promptness. Yeah. Like, it is nice. But the problem is there's not another one every 2 minutes like there is, like, in more urbanized areas.
Yeah.
And so we're standing at this light, and this is a highway, like, between us. We're at the beach side, the coast side of it. There's a highway in between, and then over the highway is the train station. And we're, like, waiting for the light to turn for us to walk. And it's, like, me and Abby and a group of people who are from the area or traveling through that are from Japan. And we're all making eyes at each other like, okay, like, hopefully the light's going to turn green for us to go. Oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden, we just watched these people start playing Frogger in the road, running. And me and Abby are looking, and in my head, I'm going, I guess we're going to miss the train.
Yeah, I think we both accepted that we were going to miss that train, but then something inside of me clicked, and I was like, no, we're not missing this train.
So I look over, and suddenly, Abby's booking it. Like, booking it. And so what do I do? Because I am her ride or die, I don't look either way of this highway. I just start running, too. I could have been hit. I was that dumb running the road. And then here comes the train arms, like the
railroad crossing, like the little
the rails that come down when a train's coming. And I'm like, oh my god,
we're not gonna make it.
And then we watch these people again dive under the bars and, like, run across. And this train is coming, and their trains are much faster. It's not like a little their trains are fast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, we're gonna miss the train.
Well, and I didn't even look. I did not look.
No.
My eyes were set on that group of people. I was
once
like,
again, she's following them. I look over, and she's like, gotta go, Mac, let's go. And all of a sudden, she is, like, army rolling under this thing. Like, booking it. And I'm like, I'm gonna miss the train now. Not just me and Abby.
I was like, come on, Mac.
Yes. And so I was like, oh my god. Again, I don't look. I run through this. I, like, scraped my leg. I think at one point
you got caught in the rail.
Yes, my backpack. It was my backpack, and I was, like, freaking out. I'm like, I'm gonna get ran over by this train.
And then I, like, turn around, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's stuck.
And then we made it
Gosh.
through, and the train literally arrived as soon as we made it through, and we only had like 30 seconds maybe.
To go up some stairs,
Yes.
go back down. I don't know why they had this. They had like a flight of stairs going up, a little landing, and then flight of stairs going right back down, and then you were at the platform.
And you had to do that in order to get to the like the part where you would like use your pass to get in. And so like there was no getting around it. You had to go up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
And we're all booking it. We get it, we like roll into the train almost. And me, Abby, this group of people were all like like trying to catch our breaths, and we're all looking at each other like, yeah, we just made that.
Oh my gosh, that day was so eventful. I was just thinking like when we got back into Hiroshima, the place that we were staying at, you ran into that lady.
Yeah. I ran into a deaf blind individual with her guide, and I forgot about this story.
I just remembered because my pants were ripped, and you were like, your pants like have holes in them, and I was like, what are you talking about? I had just got them from H&M, and they were linen pants, and yeah, they were tearing at the seam, and I was like, oh my gosh, we have to go back to the apartment to change.
So then we're riding like kind of like a little trolley type thing, and I look over, and there's a woman signing. And they're using some more universal signs. So, like, I'm an interpreter. Let me put that out there for American Sign Language. And I was like, oh, I recognize a few of these. I'm not sure if it's Japanese Sign Language and they're just using some very, like, broadly known signs or what it is. And I do speak some Japanese. So I was like, let me go up there. And, like, when we were getting off, they got off at the same stop as us. And I was like, hey, excuse me, like, you know, are you deaf? And Abby, like, is right beside me, right? And we all of a sudden start having this conversation in between, like, American Sign Language, Japanese Sign Language, English, and Japanese. Like, it's like all these languages coming back and forth. And it's the sweetest interaction with this woman named Tamiko. She was the one that was deaf and blind, and then I cannot remember the guide's name, unfortunately. But it was such a sweet interaction. And all of a sudden I look over, and Abby is like completely turned her back to me, and I'm like, oh, she's mad. Like she wants to like
go.
Yeah, like something. I was like, I'm trying to hurry up, like, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm taking too long with this interaction.
Meanwhile, I'm over here bawling because I was watching this interaction. I was like, that's so beautiful. And then I didn't want, which she
just turned her back to us completely. I'm looking over. I'm like,
yes, look at this right now. Which, like, to be fair, like, I was like, I just don't want them to see me crying and then be like, what's wrong with this girl?
But instead, she's like putting herself in the corner, essentially. And so then when we say goodbye to these sweet people, we start walking. And I'm like, Abby, I'm so sorry if that was taking too long. It was just such a cool interaction. It was really sweet to get to meet some people. And
bawling.
All of a sudden, she turns around and her eyes are red, and her face is just like tears just coming down. And I was like, are you okay?
That's all I could get out. I was like, it's so beautiful. That was a good interaction.
That was a good interaction. It was
so wholesome.
It was wholesome. It really.
My body couldn't handle it. My body was like, I can't do this right now.
Yeah. I forgot about that story.
That's so funny.
And so, wait, what does this say? Oh yeah, you said that one. So one of the other parts is one day we did a day trip to Mount Fuji. And we booked this tour through an app called Klook, and I used Klook for pretty much everything in Japan because it was really a great discount app.
Yeah.
But it was a tour. Essentially, they would bus us all the way to Mount Fuji, and we would see these different sites. And as soon as we walk up, it was hard to find for whatever reason. And it was supposed to be like in plain sight, and it was not. We walk up, and this man's there, and we're like, hi, is this the so blah, blah, blah tour? And he's like, he says this in English. He goes, I only speak Chinese and Japanese, no English.
It said it on the Klook thingy, like the little advertisement that they spoke English. So right off the bat, he was like, I'm not doing that. I'm just speaking Japanese. And
And I was like, well, I can communicate like basically basic with him. And he's like, he just starts speaking Chinese. We get into the bus and we're like, this is a very odd interaction.
Yeah.
And some of these people, a good amount of these people were from South Korea. They weren't that were on holiday that we were around. And I'm like sitting beside me and Abby don't even get to sit next to each other. So
I think on the no, we don't.
I sat with that
yeah.
man. And on the way there, I'm like trying to listen to this guy because he's giving all these directions, all these things you can and cannot do on this bus. And so I'm trying to process this. And so I asked the guy in Japanese, I was like, hey, is this guy just speaking Chinese or am I just not understanding this? And he was like, no one's understanding this. It's only Chinese. And I was like,
because I remember I texted you and I was like, this isn't Japanese, is it? Because even I, like, not knowing a lick of Japanese, I was like, this does not sound familiar.
No, I was literally like, is this a dialect I don't know?
And then he was putting up cards and I was like, that doesn't look like Japanese either.
No, so this man's doing the entire, like, tour in Chinese. And
or Mandarin or whatever.
Mandarin, Cantonese, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But he had voiced Chinese, so that's why
I
say that. But so then we go and when you know, it's supposed to be like an hour and a half drive, turns into 3 hours because there's a wreck on the highway. And me and Abby are like, we're almost there. We're almost there. Well, we get to the first site and it's a beautiful site, but it's a cloudy day. And they tell us we have to be back at the bus at this certain time. And he's like pointing to his sign and he's like lifting it up and he's like, this time. I mean, it was very interesting. And so we look at these stairs and how long do you think it took us to get up there?
Long enough. I was winded. Like, we had to take multiple breaks because it was it was a hike. A hike, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we finally make it up. We spend our little time up there and then we descend.
And the descent was fine.
Yeah.
But there was a couple that was like 5 minutes behind us.
Yeah.
Because it takes so long to get up and down. And they're like, he went off on this couple.
Yeah, when they finally like rejoined the group, he was like going off
angry. And he's like, get in the bus. Yeah. And we were like, okay.
And I just remember looking at you and I was like, oh, this is going to be an interesting day.
It was just super uncomfortable. So then we get to the very last stop because we had 3 total, but one of them was like a walking distance. So we just walked to it. Mm-hmm. And then we bussed over to this like little kind of like farm beside Mount Fuji. Yeah. Like older farm area. Yeah. And we get told a specific time. Yeah. And do you want to continue this part?
We get told a specific time, and we even like double check with a couple. I wonder if it was the same couple that got yelled at. I don't remember. I don't remember. When we got there, because we were like, we just want to make sure that we heard the right time. They were like, yeah, that's the right time. So we're spending time. We're going through these little like houses that are also doubling as like museums, but also some of them have like little trinkets and stuff that you can buy.
Yeah, like little shops.
Yeah, and we finally find a place that we can take pictures. Mm-hmm. And so obviously we're taking pictures. All you can see in the background is like a little Mount Fuji, like just peeking out.
From the clouds.
And so we're like, we're going to take our opportunity. We're going to take our photos. And so we take our photos. We start going back down towards the bus. And all of a sudden...
And we're early according to our time. Let's put that out.
Yeah, we're early according to our time. All of a sudden, I hear this man going... I can't remember if he said... America?
He was saying America.
America? Okay. America! America! And I looked at Mac. I was like, he's not talking to us, is he?
And I'm like, absolutely not.
I was like, wait, no, I think he's talking to us. And he's still yelling at this point, America!
Like, and he's like waving, like broadly waving, like, get your butts and come on.
Yeah, so angry. And Mac was like, I know that you started getting angry. I saw it on your face. And he was like, she was like, I know he's not talking to us. I was like, no, I think he's talking to us. Well,
and I mean, I just can't help it. I'm like I'm a very level-headed person, but when somebody's disrespectful to me, I'm like, why? There's no reason to be mean. And this guy was just like so angry.
Well, and just from the get-go, like he was like with that first couple, there was no, I mean, like none of us were in a rush. We were all
everybody
here for
was happy.
Like, yeah. And at the end of the day, like it's not that serious.
Yeah.
It's just not that serious.
And so we just see this man at the very bottom of the hill, and he's literally going, America! And he's like waving, like, get your butts and go. And we finally get there, and he is like, we would have left you, look at you. And he's like pointing at his watch. And we were like, oh my gosh, like, dude, like, we're early. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And apparently we were like,
I don't know how late.
We were like 30 minutes late, something crazy.
Oh, I don't think it was that.
Was that maybe like 10 minutes then? I don't know. I remember we were like within so many minutes of being
Because I remember like when we got up to the place where we were taking our photos, I remember seeing people from our group. So I'm like, we couldn't have been that late.
No, but I will say most everybody was already seated on the bus. So we were either right behind everybody or
maybe like 5 or 10 minutes late, I would say.
Oh, we were late, period. And we didn't realize it. We thought we were early.
Yeah.
And so then he like proceeded to get on to us as we were still getting on the bus. And so all these people are looking at us, and it's like the walk of shame.
Yeah, literally. And I remember getting to finally sit down, and Mac was over here fuming, and I was like, it'll be funny one day.
And I'm like, it's not funny right now.
I was like, it's not funny right now, but it'll be funny one day. We're going to laugh about this one day. Well.
And we do. We laugh about it every once in a while. It'll come back up in our thoughts, and it is funny now. But at that time, I was like, America. I was like, you butthole.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just was a grumpy pants.
Oh, gosh, yeah. And the bus ride back was just so bad because somebody opened up like dried fish or something and they were snacking on it.
Yeah, so like, and it's fine, like you have your snacks or whatever, but for whatever reason, it's like when someone brings tuna, right? Like, it's literally like, or eggs to lunch, and you're like, man, you had to pick the stinkiest thing to eat and snack on because now everybody has to smell it, which it wasn't a big deal. It just was like, and then for whatever reason the bus was having issues, so there was like wet spots in the bus. Do you remember that? I mean, it was an interesting, like all together, just like the Hiroshima trip was just a doozy. I do think that if we went back, we'd probably like buy our own, like rent a car and do it ourselves. Yeah,
because I think that might be better.
I'll let you start that journey. She said this too when we were in Ireland, and that was an experience on its own. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah. Maybe that's what induced me.
Anyways. Oh, yeah. And so I'll let you lead this next one.
What's the next one?
The wrong address.
Oh, okay. Well, to be fair, when we got into Tokyo was the last stop of our trip, I think.
Yeah, we came back to Tokyo. So we started in Tokyo, went down Japan, like the line of Japan, then we came back up to Tokyo at the end.
I believe it was the last part though. No, it was the first part of our trip. I think it's when we got there.
That or like Osaka, somewhere. It was in the midst of our trip, I think.
And so, we get off of the high-speed train. I can't remember what the station was called anymore. But in order to get to our hotel, which we had booked on booking.com, putting that out there, we booked it. It had an address. I put that address in to Google Maps and I believe Apple Maps.
And we were exhausted. Let's put that out.
We were tired. We were really tired. It sent us to this address, which was just like a residential home. And I was like, this doesn't seem right. Well, it's because it wasn't.
And it was already 15, 20 minutes out from the station that we had come from. So we were already far removed, and it started raining. And we have our luggage. We had everything with us.
Yeah. And so I'm over here trying to figure out, like, okay, well, if this isn't it, where are we supposed to be going? Finally find our address. I don't remember if you found it or I found it. Somebody found it.
I don't remember how. Yeah, somehow, some way. I think either we translated it or something, and then it like gave us the actual address. It was far away.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 30 minutes from where we were. Like
it was a 3 mile walk. I remember it was 3 miles because Abby has a tendency We both do. Let me put that out there. Especially on this trip when we had to walk a lot and we were exhausted. She'd be like, it's only, 20 minutes away. And I'm like, okay, we can make that. 20 minutes goes by and I'm like, Abby, it's been 20 minutes. She's like, oh, it's only another 20 minutes. Just so that way we don't actually know how long the walk is. It was like 3 miles, like not exaggerating. It was, but she was like, oh, we're halfway there. And I'm like, so it's been 10 minutes, you're telling me. And she's like, oh, well, it's really been 20 and we're walking another 20, but yeah, so they were walking in the rain, we're laughing at each other, and when at that point when we realized how far we had to walk, we just looked at each other and I remember us going, it's just part of the plot.
It's part of the plot. And at one point I was like, well, we could book like a Uber. You brought it up and I was like, yeah, but that's gonna be extra money, and like we could just walk for free.
Yeah.
And so I want to say we were like 10 minutes away from the hotel at this point, and my feet were killing me, my back was killing me, because I had a little carry-on, but that little carry-on,
but then you had Helga with you.
Who's that?
Your backpack. You don't remember your backpack?
Well, yes, I did have my backpack too. And anyways, it was really heavy. Like, that thing was a solid brick, like, because I just packed everything in a little carry-on and my little backpack, and it was just a brick. And 10 minutes away, I was like, well, we could get an Uber. No, it's probably cheaper. And you were like, no, we're just gonna walk. We're already walking, and I'm over here dying. I know that we have a video or a photo, at least.
There's a video at some point where we both have our umbrellas out of each other and we're like filming each other. We're like, just part of the plot.
It's part of the plot. Oh my goodness.
I'll say we did maintain really positive attitudes when a lot of things went wrong.
Yeah. Oh, but that was terrible. Our feet for most of that trip were like swollen and throbbing, I would say, by the end of the day.
Oh, you know what? This is actually when we arrived at Osaka. Because then we realize, as we're walking, we start going through these like alley, like shop areas, like kind of like outlet malls. And we start walking and we're like, this is getting shady looking. And then we keep walking, and suddenly we start seeing these women like dressed in like different outfits, like nurse outfits and like cutesy outfits or whatever, and they're sitting like on a podium,
and they have like women. Most of them, like, I feel like, had like older women behind them.
And they all start like, I was like making eye contact with them, and then they would throw their fan in our, like, not in our face, but like they block their face with their fan, and we were like, this is strange. Yeah. And then it started being every single
one would cover their face, and I was like, this is really weird, like, what's going on?
And then we noticed the only customers that are around right now are men. And then we're like, oh my god, we're in the red light district. Our hotel we finally arrived to, which it was nice once we did get in there.
Yeah, it was really nice,
but it was smack dab in the middle of the red light district.
Yeah, I will take the L for that. That was not my finest moment.
You know what? It really was just like more like, I think it was just more like the not so touristy, not so great side of Osaka that people don't really see. But I still don't feel like it was it was no more dangerous than us being here in daylight. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. And the roads were really clean. Mm-hmm. Like, I never felt like unsafe.
I just was more cautious in that area because a lot of the men there were already drunk or stuff like that. But yeah, we were just cracking up when we realized, like, oh my god, we're in the red light district too.
Like, of course we would.
We would book that. Like, that's just us. And yeah, it was a part of the plot.
It was a part of the plot. My goodness.
I can't read your handwriting. I'm so sorry. What does that say?
That was the drunk guy.
Oh, one of our first nights we got there. Again, we're American. We're walking down this alley. A lot of people walk the alleys there. Because, I mean, a lot of Japan is, like, pedestrian-oriented, right? And we're walking down this alley at, like, 11 something at night. And there's one man behind us. And so me and Abby are, like, making eyes at each other, like shifting our eyes back and forth with each other, and we're like on guard. And we started slowing down, and then all of a sudden we just hear Like, this man was so fed up with us, and he, like, went around us and then started walking faster, and we just started busting out laughing because we were like, here we were, so worried for our safety. And this man
just wanted to get home.
He wanted to get home.
He was like done with it. He was like, these girls are walking so slow. They're being such an inconvenience. I just need to get home. And you're walking at a snail speed, which we weren't, but still.
We were, but you know, our feet were swollen.
Our feet were swollen.
We're just girls.
My goodness. And I think it was Osaka too that we found that like little hidden bar. So one thing about, I just remember like my mom being like, don't go into the alleys. And I was like, my first thing was like, we need to go into the alleys. I was like, we need to go explore. Like,
but Osaka's set up like that, very much so.
Yeah, I just thought it was so funny. She was like, don't go into the alleys. And I was like, no, we need to go into the alleys.
Exact opposite.
I was like, no, like, that's how you find cool places when you travel. You just, like, start wandering off. Like, I wouldn't recommend this if you're by yourself. Find safe people and then do it.
Yeah.
Or know how to defend yourself and then do it. But I just remember, like, walking into this really cute little bar. And the lady made her own, like, concoction. She had her own recipes. She was so fermenting cute. Her own alcohol.
Yeah.
And while we were there, we met, like, this group of guys that were from Switzerland or something.
Switzerland or Sweden? Switzerland. It was Switzerland because it was so expensive. We were talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just remember all of a sudden looking up. And there was a rat running across the beams, and I like poke at Mag, and I was like, "That's part of the plot."
You know what? We did go back to that bar once more.
I think. It was so charming.
It rat was, and all. The rat and all. It was that the
It was a converted bathhouse or something.
It used to be a bathhouse, and it was converted into a bar. Her and her husband had for like years. And she actually had a really cool life story. She traveled a lot before then, and she had like these pictures everywhere that were really fun. Yeah. But me and Abby definitely had our time there.
Oh, goodness.
The rat was, I forgot about the rat.
Yes. I do think that is going to be the end of this episode.
But there are more travel stories to come.
There are. We've been to Ireland. We've been to
Florida.
Have we only been to Ireland and Florida together?
No. We've been to Arkansas together. We've been to different parts of Texas together.
Yeah, we've done a lot of like mini trips. Like, gosh, why am I like?
We've been to Mexico.
We've been to Mexico. We recently went to Disney.
Oh yeah,
in Florida.
That was fun.
And then
we went to Florida for a beach trip on a different time.
Yeah.
And the next destination
is
Colorado.
We will be there in March.
Yes.
So that'll be really exciting. Keep an eye out for videos to come on that trip. But that will conclude our messy moments included for today's episode. We will catch you guys on the next one.
On the flippy flip.
Yeah.
Can you tell? Okay. Anyways, bye guys.
Bye.